先天。先辈。高手。
Hi guys, welcome to our channel. I'm Zhang Xinyi from China Xinhua News. We are now here at Qufu, the home to a very famous Chinese thinker, educator, and also as well as a philosopher in China. And today, a traditional memorial ritual is being held here in Qufu, a city at East China Shandong province. And this memorial ritual is to worship Confucius, a famous educator and philosopher in ancient China. Let's go finding out what's about of this ancient memorial ceremony. Let's go find it out. Walking up the steps over the stairs, we can see a lot of people are gathering here, and they are all dressed up in the traditional garments. And actually, almost every year, hundreds of Confucius descendants will gather here in Qufu from all parts of the world. And they are just kneel down to show the respect for their great ancestor. And there is the host reading out loud the article written for showing the respect for their ancestor Confucius. And also this article are combined with the generation's thought for their ancestor and also their gratitude for their great ancestor Confucius. Always, given the last year's ceremony, the ceremony is always tended to be held in a large scale, but this year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this ceremony has limited the number of attendees for safety concern. In traditional Chinese culture, people tend to believe that death is not the end of the world. So the ritual would help the ancestors live a better life in another world and bless their offsprings.
亲协作，全民担当，谱写壮歌，儒道荣光，疫情稳控，经济富强，共克时艰，同期小康，优势展现，责备万方。
And we can see the representatives of the descendants. They are reading out loud the article and also showing their respect to their ancestor by kneeling down and with very faithful look on their face and also kowtow to show their respect to And we can see now the people are wearing the traditional outfits, the traditional garments, in a way to show respect to Confucius. Usually in this kind of ceremony and also in this kind of ritual, people are tend to dress up and also wear the yellow scarf to send their missing and also respect to their great ancestor. And also the scarf is a kind of symbol to show that they are the descendants of Confucius. People are making the moves along with the music of made by traditional Chinese instruments. And actually the dance we are watching right now technically is used by the ancient Chinese emperor. However, Confucius is actually the only one allowed to use this royal dance and this royal music. the traditional dancing and music used for this ceremony, for this ritual, is actually a proof for the importance and the great significance people attach to Confucius. And the descendants are all lining up, and they all kneel down to show and to pay their respect for the ancestor. The ritual, actually the ritual is following the old tradition in ancient China. And the whole ritual is well designed, following the old tradition. The memorial you are watching right now is one of the largest family memorial ceremony in the world. When the ceremony is held, the descendants of Confucius will come all their way from all the parts around the world, and they gather in Qufu, a city of East Shandong province of China. However, for safety concern this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, this year's ceremony is actually downsized. It is said that there are approximately over 3 million Confucius descendants around the world. And now the Kong family has come to their 80th generation. And people are all waiting to pay their respect to the ancestor. And there is another traditional dance for showing respect for Confucius. actually can only be used by the ancient Chinese emperor. And Confucius is the only man that are allowed to use this royal music and royal dance for his ritual. And people are dancing and playing music to pay a tribute to the great educator in ancient China. And now today we happily invited the 76th generation of Confucius. Kong Ling Shao. 孔老师你好，跟我们的观众打个招呼吧。
好，各位观众大家好。
And he said hi to our audience, and also I'm gonna ask a few questions to him about this old ceremony and every information you guys may want to know. So the first is what is the official process of this ceremony in the ancient time? 所以孔老师，那个就是在过去啊，就是我们传统的这个流程是怎么样的？我们现在的流程是怎么样的？
我们家祭啊，这个流程呢，基本上是传承了过去的流程，是一样的。
This year's family's memorial ceremony is basically the same with the one in ancient time, and we follow up the rules set by our family. 那这个流程大致是什么样子？
流程嘛，首先呢是迎神，然后呢是三献礼，三献礼之后呢是读注，就是恭读祭文。最后呢就是行礼，行礼完了之后送神，这个家祭的仪式呢就宣告结束了。
The main parts of the family memorial ritual contains basically two parts. The first part is that people offering up sacrifices to the ancestor, and the second part we just saw is that to read out loud the article that pay a tribute to the great ancestor. 那您这个我们今年的这个仪式呢，跟往年相比，跟这个公祭相比，有没有什么区别？
规模呢今年是小了一点，但是呢这个祭祀啊不在于规模有多大，而在于它的礼仪啊、礼节啊是个什么层级的。它主要呢是让它呢庄严肃穆就够了。这个呢，公祭和家祭的区别是什么？公祭呢，它主要是呢政府祭祀，政府祭祀它的主要目的，它主要是增强人民的民族的认同感。我们家祭，它的主要目的是增强我们族人的、我们的呢家族的认同感。公祭呢，它是增强民族的认同感；家祭呢，它是增强家族的认同感。
Actually, there is another ceremony beforehand, and that is made by the government. But the family memorial ceremony is always about the family inside and people, the descendants paying their tribute to their ancestor. 那我们我们的家祭现在的意义，您觉得更多的是什么呢？ And what's the meaning of the family memorial ceremony today?
家族的意义呢，主要是让孔子的后人通过这么一个仪式来感悟我们的祖先他的灵魂、他的思想，让我们知道我们是从哪里来，到哪里去，这就叫做不忘初心。
And the meaning of the family memorial today is more about letting the descendants know where they are from and their family roots, and let them be proud of their own family, one of the greatest and one of the most famous families in China's history. And also, just let them know more about the culture of Chinese tradition and also the culture of Confucius. And we can see just people are kowtowing for their ancestor. And today we saw the whole ceremony of Confucius memorial ceremony, and it's just a small part of Chinese traditional culture, and also just a small part of the culture of Confucius. And if you want to know more about Chinese news and Chinese traditional culture, and as well as the great educator, as well as the thinker, philosopher of Confucius, please keep following us, and I will see you guys around.
对。
请颜值后裔代表